Hi there, Taurus. Welcome to your August 2023 card reading. Okay, let's begin the reading with the cassowary, individuality. So the funniest thing about the cassowary card coming out for you, Taurus, is one of the major messages with the cassowary card is about stubbornness. And of course, Taurus is notorious for their stubborn, immovable energy, which is often serves you really well, but other times it can make things really tricky, especially when you're in a lot of flux, in a lot of change. Okay, so this is telling you that you're in an immense period of growth right now. We have the Venus retrograde in Leo, which started on July 23rd, goes until September 4th. I have done a separate video on that with a tarot card reading, so I highly recommend you go and watch that. It is your ruling planet, so this is very important to you, so I'll link that down below. We also have a Mercury retrograde coming up this month, so that starts on August the 24th until September 16th, so at the end of the month, but it will be in the pre-retrograde shadow all of August, so we'll be navigating this Mercury retrograde energy for this whole month, okay? And whenever there's two really personal planets moving retrograde like this at the same time, it really means that we're doing a lot of internal work, a lot of changes on the inside, on the inner level, which then is reflected back on the outside, as within, so without. So this is a time of immense growth and immense change. And with the cassowary card coming up, it does tell me that there is a very high possibility that you'll be resisting the change coming in, resisting and sort of putting your foot down and staying firm, which is a very Taurus thing to do. So looking at that, looking at where your resistance is, looking at where there's changes getting thrust upon you that you're uncomfortable with, really taking that time out. The interesting thing is the Mercury retrograde is happening in your 5th house, and the 5th house is the house of individuality. It's exactly that house for you. So the 11th house is the house of groups and where we fit in the social system. And then the 5th house on the other side of the scale is the house of ego, of self, of individuality. So the Mercury retrograde will be pushing you to be more individual, to embrace your individuality, to look at your unconscious programming, your unconscious beliefs that keep you separated, that keep you trapped in groups, and keep you trapped away from your authentic self for the purpose of fitting into groups, for the purpose of belonging and being accepted by other people. So that's going to be a big theme for you, particularly at the end of the month and into September. The last thing I want to say about the cassowary is that cassowaries are a very big bird and they're very, very powerful. They are really dangerous if you ever come across a cassowary, run. But they never, ever will use that power unless they feel like they absolutely have to. So they keep to themselves, they stay away from danger, even though they could really do a lot of damage. They really try hard not to. And so this is a time to look at your power, look at your control, and realize, especially with the 5th house being activated, realize how powerful you are. And possibly that could be some of the unconscious programming coming up to be healed, is how you keep yourself small and keep yourself hidden from your power out of fear of your power, out of fear of how big you could be, out of fear of how awesome you could be. Maybe that's that's kind of a narrative that a lot of us have, is that fear of like that tall poppy syndrome, of being individual, of being our best versions of ourselves and then not fitting in. And it's something that a lot of people have to overcome. And it's about having that confidence and that faith and trust in your alignment with your inner being and your source and with yourself, validating yourself and not letting other people's judgment affect you. So we have the Hanged Man, 6 of Swords, and the Fool. first of all, there is contradictory energy coming up here, right? So the Six of Swords and the Fool imply a journey. They imply movement. So you're moving, but then the Hanged Man implies stagnation, or not stagnation, but it implies like a limbo phase. So this is that exactly what I was talking about with the cassowaries being pulled in two directions, wanting to stay firm, wanting to be stubbornly stick to where you are, but also being pulled on this journey, pulled on this next level of your expansion, next level of your journey. So that's something that you can work with during this month, and just working with your fixed energy and unraveling that a little bit so that you can move forward, so that you can move into this new space, this new journey that you're going on at this time. With the Hanged Man, that doesn't surprise me. That's come out with that Mercury retrograde. Mercury, when it moves retrograde, it slows our thoughts down for the purpose of us being able to observe them. So the unconscious becomes conscious, so that we have an opportunity to make adjustments, to change some things that we don't like. If there's emotional triggers, or there's like repetitive automatic thinking that is taking you in a direction you don't want to go, this is the opportunity to change that. So this is the opportunity to look at the situation differently. Okay, I see this situation another way, and Mercury will be helping everybody do that. For your purposes in your fifth house, it will be helping you to look at this individuality, look at your desires and your goals for your life and what's authentic to you, looking at your authenticity and allowing you to move forward, have a clean slate is what I'm hearing with the Six of Swords. You get to have a clean slate and you get to move forward on this brand new journey. The Fool is like a journey that is completely new. There's nothing it's like nothing old coming forward, and maybe that's the resistance. There's things to let go of, if that is the case for you, but trusting that you are protected on this journey and that it can be exciting if you follow it. You have the Six of Coins and the Hermit. I love this Hermit card, okay, because it is the card that is represented by Virgo. It represents Virgo in the tarot, and that's where Mercury is moving retrograde. So that Mercury retrograde is really impactful on you. I actually thought that the Venus retrograde would come out more in your reading because it's your ruling planet, but perhaps the Venus retrograde you've got that, and so that's is not needing to come out in the cards. It's the Mercury retrograde that's really coming in the cards for you. Mars is in Virgo as well with Mercury until August 27th. So for most of the month, Mars has been firing up that fifth house as well, getting you passionate. The fifth house is the house of our passions, our hobbies, our creativity, okay, our individuality. So this is really what this is all about. And with the Six of Coins here, it's about receiving. We're receiving this I give and receive for the universal good. It's this ebb and flow. And so what it's saying is there's this easy energy. It doesn't need to be hard. It doesn't need to be difficult. I think what I'm hearing is that you're making it more difficult for yourself than it needs to be. That's the message they want you to know, Taurus. If you can relax into this, you can ease into this, you will receive it anyway. So this is the flipping of the script you can do with the Hanged Man is flipping into that receptive mode instead of pushing, instead of trying to, or resisting, okay, is to step into the easy flow of what's happening around you, of what's changing, of what's coming in, of where you're growing and where you're expanding. We have the Four of Coins. Yes, so this again, like I said, there is this resistance. I'm feeling a strong level of resistance for you. And it's interesting because, you have Jupiter in your first house, which is causing you expansion. It's causing you growth. So this is where what's happening is that you've been building your character. You've been building your personality for so long, and it's been really tricky and challenging for you, I think, Taurus, to change. You've had such dramatic changes this year, and Jupiter's been there since May, really pushing your expansion, your evolution as well. And during this time with all this retrograde energy, it's about doing that work internally on the inside, and there's resistance here, Four of Coins. feel that resistance, that maybe you're feeling unsafe, unsteady in that new journey, in that moving forward. There's a lack of stability because it's new, because you don't know it. So finding that stability within is what I'm seeing for you with the Hermit card there. It's about following your light, following your path, finding the stability internally, and that's when it's reflected externally. So if you're having fears, if you're having doubts, if you're on the brink of stepping out in a unique way and you are holding yourself back out of fear, please do find that inner security, find that inner validation of self, knowing that it doesn't really matter what other people think of you. As long as you're following your light, following your path, you are safe and you are protected. You keep yourself safe and you keep yourself protected, because we have the Seven of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And that means this whole reading really is about your values. It's about your perspective. It's about being an individual, being unique, and having to stand up for your stance in the world, having to and maybe go against the grain and everybody else not understanding what you're, or recognizing where you're at. But this has been kind of a thing that's been happening for you for a while, Taurus, because you're changing. People don't like it when we change. They expect us to be the same way all the time, and they keep telling themselves the same narratives about us that they have always had. And when we change and we don't fit in that narrative, they don't like it. And so this is just part of that growth. You're going to have to push through that until they come to terms with and they change their narrative for you, or they leave, really. So yeah, letting go of that fear of doing that, of taking that next step. So calm expression and light radiant. So this is what the universe is mirroring to you, Taurus. And this is, if you are calm in your expression, you will see that return to you. Okay, so if there is resistance, if there's fear, if there's doubt, and that comes through in a chaotic way, then that will be reflected to you in your environment. That will be reflected back to you through your interactions, through the experiences that you engage in. You will feel that chaos as well. So if you're experiencing chaos, that chaos is internal, and there's this need to create some calmness around it, and that's kind of what I was saying about the change can be scary, and then we can get internally conflicted, and that makes it really difficult to step forward and to change this perspective that you're having. There is on the 8th of August, Venus will conjunct Lilith. So there is this component of rejection, of abandonment, of shame coming out in that Venus retrograde. Okay, so this is about calmly expressing yourself regardless of any of that. And with the light radiant, we start Virgo season on August the 23rd, and then Mercury is retrograde on August the 24th. So that 5th house activation is at the end of the month, but it's really important for you to know about it, Taurus. And that the 5th house is really where our light shines. It's ruled by the sun. So it is about our ego. It's about our light. It's about our expression. It's about our creativity. So this is really important. The more that you embrace the light within you, the more that it will be reflected back to you in reality. So the more that you embrace this uniqueness, this individuality, this passion, this drive that is internal, this light within you, the Hermit here, the more that you will see that in your reality. If you're really tapped in and aligned to that light, to that passion, as you go about your day, you will have things manifest in your day, and you'll like run into people who are talking about the same things, or you will find something happening in your environment that reflects that back to you, or you'll go to the shops and you'll see what it is that you need for that. That's the kind of stuff that happens when we're tapped into that space. So this is really, the more that you can do that, the more that every day your experiences will start to align with that, and you'll start to get to engage with it more and more the more that you do this. And this month, Taurus, it's important to surrender to your soul path. exactly what I've just been saying. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. So the 5th house is the house of our desires, and our desires come from our soul. So our desires are what our soul wishes to express in this lifetime, wishes to experience through you as the vessel. Our soul wants to have certain experiences for its evolution, for its expansion during this lifetime, and it offers that information to you through your desires. And so if you, and the 5th house is where that's resides, okay? Those desires reside. So this is a big topic for you, Taurus. I have done a separate video for the Mercury retrograde, and I've done a tarot card reading for each zodiac sign. I really think it's going to be important that you watch that. I'll release that around August 24th. So it's really important that you do watch that, because this is coming through so strongly in the cards for you. And that is going to be about uplifting your narrative, uplifting your mindset, uplifting your unconscious thought processes in order for you to follow your soul's path more accurately, more in alignment. So having a look at that, releasing any resistance that you have to following this path for yourself, following what's being laid out for you. Like I said at the very beginning, that stubbornness and resistance and wanting to stay stuck in an uncomfortable comfort zone will not serve you during August, Taurus. So we have, take 5 or more minutes to concentrate on a divine feeling or a higher thought, doing your best to block out all other distractions. And we have, respect your inner cycles and honor them on your healing journey. So this one, yes, this is going to be how you can navigate the Mercury retrograde to its highest potential, okay? Meditation, Mercury retrograde and meditation go hand in hand. We need to meditate during the Mercury retrograde. We need to meditate all the time, but during the Mercury retrograde, doubly so, because Mercury is the planet that rules our mind, our focus, our thoughts. So it rules what we create in reality, because our focus is what we create in reality. And so when you concentrate, or even just for 5 minutes, on a feeling that is divine, on your light, on the feeling that lights you up, that lights a fire in your belly, when you concentrate on that and block out every other thought, even just for 5 minutes, you start to alter your state of being, which then starts to align you with new things, with different things. It aligns you with those things that will light you up, will light you on fire. So that's a really good practice to do. And Mercury will be retrograde until September 16th, so continue that throughout September as well. And respect your inner cycle and honor them on your healing journey. Again, that resistance to change coming out. This is a cycle. We cannot stay the same. Life is ever changing. Life is always in a state of flux. And when we're resistant to change, it makes life very uncomfortable, because you're always going to be encountering change for the rest of your life, for the rest of your journey. And if you weren't encountering change, you'd be dead. Okay, so really is about uplifting your mind around the thoughts and feelings that you have around change, and recognizing that these changes are cyclical. They're a part of your journey. They're a part of your path towards your highest life, a life worth living. Okay, so that is your August reading, Taurus. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate being a part of your creative journey. If this resonated with you, please subscribe to my channel. That would really help me. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next readings. Definitely remember, if you subscribe to my channel, you'll get notified when the Mercury retrograde video comes out, and that's going to be really important for you to watch. So yeah, okay, take care.